Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yep. Hello there. Welcome to 3 Fan Dinosaurs. You're not getting away with that one. Right, I'm Siobhan. Up there is your actual Dr. Sinister. Hello. And for the very first time on this show, we have a guest, a 3rd Fan Dinosaur. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say please welcome, but you'll be sat at home clapping on your own, probably. It's Andrew Smith, the writer of Full Circle.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello, you are very welcome. You are incredibly welcome. I've been looking forward to this for so long. I really have. When I saw you at Hooverville, I just suddenly thought, oh, I wonder if he would. And you did.
Of course.
So the first question we have to ask you, Andrew, is what is your favourite dinosaur?
Pterodactyl.
That's not bad. That's good.
Yeah, very menacing. I can actually apologise, but I've woken up with a sore throat today, and it's got worse as the day's gone on, which is not perfect for what we're doing tonight. But maybe the more I gas on, the better.
I think it's fair to say that this show is far from perfect. Don't worry. Okay, so folks, Andrew's watching from the Blu-ray. Sinister, and I'm differentiating tonight. Sinister and I are watching from UK BritBox, and we're right at the start. Andrew's right at the start. We've discovered there's a slight anomaly of about 2 seconds, but I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah.
Very quickly, how have you been?
Who, me?
Yeah. That good, huh?
No, it's neat. I've been alright. I've just say I've been alright. It's been a few things happening in the last few years.
Look at that stiff upper lip.
I'm alright. That's a very English thing. You ask that question, you got to be prepared for the answer.
Oh yeah.
No, I got divorced and.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Stuff, but I'm in a very lovely relationship now with a lovely Kathy.
Not after tonight.
Anyway,
hello, Kathy.
Oh my God! Ask that question. Not just what? I'm great. No, I am great. But it's been a funny few years.
Okay. We're going to talk over Full Circle for you. We are going to ask questions about it. Once again, I think we can really start off now with our lists for Chris Bidmead. First of all, we're counting magical objects in season 18. K9, the sonic screwdriver. Chris didn't like.
Magical.
He's called him magical. Yeah. And you don't get to say a word about K9 after what you did to him.
That was the very first idea I had for Full Circle.
The fucking General Gruggo of... Right.
Having said that, no. I see K9's place and things, and John Leeson is a lovely guy.
Yes.
And I think actually, in context, quite nice.
Yeah.
But I was not given instructions to get him out the story. I did that all by myself.
It does work quite naturally, and it works.
Because I wasn't a kid at this point. But But actually, I enjoyed the other things he did in the story.
Yeah, I've got to admit it does work naturally. Full Circle was... I missed the cassette recording of Full Circle first time round. I managed to get it from episode 2, come the repeat. So I know the music and everything else to do with this like the back of my hand. Trouble is, I can't actually, because I'm streaming the show, I can't actually play it with sound. Otherwise it gets put onto YouTube and I get copyrighted and everything else like that.
Yeah.
I've been whinging about it all. K9 on a mission. Yeah, it's like I say this is Paddy Kingsland's best score. So, right then. So we're going to make a start, boys and girls. Like I say, UK BritBox, or indeed as Andrew's done on Blu-ray. I'll give you a count of 3, 2, 1, and I'll say go. When I say go, click the play button, and hopefully, somehow we'll be in sync.
Yeah.
All Right then. So, if everyone's ready, 3,
Yep.
2, 1, go.
Hooray!
So, Andrew,
So,
what do we
have to
think?
like this.
Yes, what do you think of the title sequence?
Yeah, it's a funny thing. No, I love it, and I do remember watching this the first time, seeing my name come up, which was quite something. But it's fun. I discussed this with Rob Sherman. The only thing, I mean, how dare I, just be upset about anything? But I was a little disappointed that I didn't have the time tunnel sequence from the rest of the Tom Baker series.
Quite right.
But
Quite right.
Rob said again when he had Dalek out that he was disappointed into the Starfield. And there's someone who did the Starfield sequence for him, and who Luke Harrison, who did and he did the.
He's lovely.
The version of Full Circle on the time tunnel for me.
That's brilliant.
But yeah, I loved it.
Okay, the first of Paddy's music.
This was the first thing done in the studio on the first day of studio in the morning.
Tom does look quite happy, to be fair. What was I going to say? Yeah, Paddy. Well, the first cue from Paddy, and it introduces Romana's theme, which you'll hear a couple of times during this show, and it gets a callback in Legopolis. Beautiful colours, don't you think? And it works so well with Alzarius.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Contrast.
One other thing
between-
here is, sorry, go on.
Go on, no, carry on.
You're the guest, sir.
No. I was just going to say, this is the thing. When I introduced Romana's room was in here. This was a kind of new thing again because I knew the series. I knew there were rooms in the TARDIS, and a lot of writers just thought it was a control room. And this was something again that was picked up by John later, and other rooms are made use of. But it was nice to have this room, and and to see the idea was picked up later.
I always like seeing other rooms in the TARDIS.
Not in the new series, though. Needs more round things. Oh, nice little Quantel shot of the TARDIS, way away from what we're used to.
I watched that being filmed, actually. I was in the corner of the studio just with the TARDIS on a little
turntable?
little rod.
Oh!
No, it's a little rod. It's sat on a rod. It's been skewered on the rod and it's turned around.
And it's also the first...
The whole E-Space thing, were you asked to work that into the script?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
When I went down to talk to Chris, and was told that they wanted to commission me for one episode and see what it was like and take it from there. I was told about the E-Space setup that Chris had devised.
Works. It works.
Yeah.
It does work.
Yeah.
Second of Paddy Kingston's themes we've just heard. It's the TARDIS in Flight theme. Sorry, I'm a very sad idiot with season 18's music.
K9 goes round the console. When he comes out, you notice his head is right down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, that was about take 5.
He was tired, bless.
He kept crashing into the console. And I've said this many times before, but I think this is the first time I heard Tom really swear quite. He said, we got this effing thing, it can't run over a piece of effing sellotape, it's like a effing Massey Ferguson.
I'm so sorry. I love that little dog. I love that little dog to bits. He's a magical object, as we need to tell Mr. Bit. I mean, what a brilliant shot. Look at that.
Yeah.
Cover of the Doctor Annual right there.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
The colours are just...
Watch for the powder. Watch for the powder
Yep.
on the birds.
Yep.
Which is sprinkled on the birds. I'm not sure that was quite... I don't know. I don't think they do that these days. Sprinkle these birds with powder.
So...
How many times have you watched this?
No, I haven't watched it for quite a while. But
okay.
Not as much as you think. I mean, it's been 40 odd years. No, not much. A few times. Mostly for doing things like this. Really
I never get tired of this one.
But I've been back to Black Park a couple of times. I've done the park run.
Yes, because you do runs, don't you?
Yes, I do.
You're a nutter like that.
Park run there. Yeah, there's a bunch of us. Dan Hall, I went and did a park run with James and Dan and Maury. The producer of the used to be the producer of the Doctor Who DVDs, and Maury, who was the editor of the Doctor Who, not Doctor Who magazine, but the Doctor Who comic. I think is it Doctor Who Adventures?
Yes. Murray, not Murray Watson. That's Black Orchid.
Yeah, and James, who hosted the Doctor Who podcast. We did the park run here, and then I showed them around, kind of, and the locations still look they're very identifiable.
James Rockcliffe.
This one going there.
James Rockcliffe.
James Rockcliffe, yes. Yeah,
nice. No. Nice guy.
Yeah, lovely guy.
Part of the DWPA.
Yeah.
This is just so wonderful. Beard alert. It's a good beard. It's a nice start for the season, but the better beards are coming in the next 2 or 3 episodes. That's 2 or 3 stories, should I say?
I can tell you this was the 23rd of July 1980. It's a Wednesday because I turned 18 on the Sunday.
Happy birthday.
There you go. Tony Calvin, he was great.
Oh, I love this. I just love this so much. And of course, bringing in the old coordinates from Pyramids of Mars. Was that you, or?
Yeah.
Still trying to work out. Sorry, please.
10.0.0.02. Yeah. It was.
Trying to work out how they're binary coordinates with the 02 in there, but you didn't make it up, so.
No, I didn't, sir. I was just repeating it.
Quite right too.
Yeah.
Hello, somebody's missed out on lunch.
I think when Leonard comes forward, you can see him stepping over the rail for the camera. He looks down. Is it a minute? Is it now? Oh, maybe it's just in a minute. Maybe it's not quite now. I too must follow the procedure. And he walks forward and then steps over the rail.
Right. Okay, we'll keep an eye on this.
We had great weather for this. This was July.
Yes.
Good weather. Yeah.
Very much. Look at this. Oh, poor Decider Draith. Such a weight on his shoulders.
Okay, yeah.
That's why they have big shoulder pads. It's the Outlaws, everyone.
Yeah.
And Adric. This show loves Adric, so don't worry. We adore him.
That's nice.
In fact, we're fairly positive about most things, if I'm honest with you. Doesn't mean we don't take the mickey out of them, because we're Doctor Who fans. That's what we do. But the love is genuine.
Never positive about, and that's Madge Arwell.
Yeah, Madge Arwell from the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That woman is responsible for all the Earth's ills.
Everything.
Yep. Oh, bless him. Wasn't his first one was State of Decay, wasn't it, Matthews? Where in the recording block was Full Circle recorded?
It was after State of Decay. He'd done State of Decay, and then so I think it was in sequence apart from those two.
Okay.
For some reason. And then we recorded on location in end of July, and then mid-August, late August for the studio.
Right, for a layman, why do they film things out of sequence sometimes? Is it availability? What is it? What's the reason?
It might be a case of just when things are ready.
Okay.
At that time, I didn't know why that was. But I think, that the script for State of Decay was one that was had been hanging around from a few years earlier.
It's the Vampire Mutations, wasn't it?
It was the Vampire Mutations, and BBC told them not to do it because they were doing the
Dracula.
the serious Dracula. So I think that's probably it. It was ready, and they did it. I'm sure I've read stuff about this, but it might have been they wanted Matthew to do a serial, kind of before he did the serial that set him up in full circle. Maybe they wanted him to do another one, but I think more likely that script was there and it was ready because they were having script issues.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have here Lord Palmerdale from Horror of Fang Rock on the right, and the security chief from the War Games. Never knowingly underplayed.
No.
I've got to say, they were all great, and they were great with me. They were great.
Oh,
I was a 17-year-old coming in. Well, 18 by the time we went in the studio, and they were absolutely fab.
Yes.
And George Baker was amazing. He was so he went out of his way to talk to me and was incredibly supportive.
I think I'm right in saying you're still the youngest writer for the show.
Yeah, Ben Aronovich is very pissed off about that. He said it wasn't for me to be the youngest writer.
Whose idea was... Sorry.
I was going to say that's never going to change now, because now you can't do what I did. You cannot send ideas and have them read and be accepted. People won't read things. It's a litigious society now.
That's very true. Can I ask whose idea it was to have lots of young men wearing soaking wet skin tight pajamas?
Well, again, I've told this story quite a bit, but as revealing as it seems to be here when they come out, it actually was more. John was there, and initially they were wearing like sumo things with their buttocks exposed, and John and we filmed it, and because I was on location here, I was here for all of this, and John and they did these sumo things where the claw just went between basically the crack of the cheeks and the buttocks were exposed, and John said we can't have that, they need to be covered up. So as much as you might think that's quite revealing, it was more revealing as originally intended by the costume designer. I'm going to never look at Amy Roberts.
No, please, like I say, you get first go on everything. Go on.
No, I had again. Amy, she designed the Marshmen initially had genitalia. Oh no, can't do that. You're like, what was the fancy? No, we can't do that. Quite right. So here we go.
Yep.
Bit of cheek.
Is that just dry ice they've thrown in the water there to get the
Yeah,
mist?
there's a lot of dry ice around. Yeah.
Okay.
When mistfall comes, the giants walk the swamp.
Initially, they were far less covered up than that. Yeah.
By the way, can I congratulate you on the novelisation of this? It was such a blast of fresh air. It really was.
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed doing it. I was approached. I was asked for permission to Terence to do it, and I said, actually, I quite like to do it myself, and I did it, and I was really pleased with it.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's a really good book.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the comments, and some people said some really nice things about it over the years, and I've kind of looked at that as kind of one of my favourite things, the novelisation of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yep, this isn't going to go well, is it? Right, we're going to sit in the bushes. We're going to watch, and when he screws it up, we're running.
Yeah, we're just going to. He can be our scapegoat, our fall guy.
Right, how many are you going to take, Adric? What the?
What?
Oh, nice, nice brushing of the marsh fruit off. That is a beautiful location. There you go. They're off.
Red lighting going on the faces of the
there were
outdoors.
filters. There were coloured filters on the camera. Max Samet was the film cameraman on this, and I was so delighted when he appeared on the DVD documentary. I remember him very clear. I mean, Peter Grimley did a great job, but Max Samet, I remember him on location, and I just thought he just did a fab job of this.
Can I just point out that Adric is definitely going to be a companion? He's just fallen over and twisted his ankle.
Of course.
Yeah, bit of a trope. Here we go. Stuart Fell about to do his thing.
Oh no, I've fallen.
Yeah, Stuart.
That was dramatic.
It was very good.
Stuart Fell had a cable attached to his ankle and attached to a winch on the other side of the lake.
You're spoiling the magic.
I'm sorry, I do apologise. My voice
Fascinating.
is very high pitched and croaky. I'm sorry. I thought.
No, you're doing all right. You're doing all right.
It's not really happening. I'm getting very croaky and high pitched. I'm sorry.
I love the model shot of the Starliner. That is such an unusual ship.
That was in.
I remember. I was at Longley '83, and that model was auctioned.
Was it?
You were at Woodstock.
Yeah.
Wow.
The model was in the studio, and it did look good. And then, even better than that, actually, the model of the engine was there, which appears. Got blue screen at the end of corridors. You see,
Yes. Yep.
just glimpses of it. But there was this lovely model of the actual engine of the Starliner, which is this thing with gauze and lights going on inside it and whatever. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. You never really see it. It's just a little thing. You get glimpses of it at the end of corridors from time to time.
Apparently,
So the Starliner, was it like just a transport, a ferry, or a cruise ship? What was it originally?
the colony ship.
No, it was.
Wasn't
It was. It was like a cruise ship. It was a passenger transporter taking people.
Yeah.
Like a train would take people from place to place.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
Pterodon, where they're supposedly from, is that in E-space?
Yes.
It is in E-space. Okay.
It is in E-space. Yeah.
Because after what happened to the Hydrax next time. Oh, by the way, folks, we're doing all 4 episodes on this. So don't worry, you can stop it and then go back to your YouTube history, start it again, and it will carry on from where you left off.
Indeed.
No, what a fool you are. Sorry.
Well, Adric's just killed the Decider, so he's a murderer now.
Donna Noble was a murderer. Remember that.
Yeah. God, I was so chuffed that George Baker was in this.
Yeah, amazing.
I'm sure. God, I love this season.
He was such a nice guy. And Richard Willis as well. Richard Willis had been in a thing. Now, oddly enough, Patrick Troughton was in this, and I didn't remember him being in it. But I remembered Richard, and it's called The Feathered Serpent. And it was written by John Kane, who appeared in Planet of Spiders. And it's a fantastic series. And I urge anyone to just seek it out on DVD or Blu. I don't know if it's on Blu-ray. It's certainly on DVD.
What's it called again?
The Feathered Serpent. It's about the Aztecs.
Okay.
And it was a children's serial, but my God, watching it was so adult in concept. There's people being tortured and sacrificed and whatever. And Patrick Troughton plays the high priest of the Aztecs, and Diane Keane is in it, but Richard Willis was in it. And actually, seeing Richard, when Richard was cast in this, my God, yes, Richard Willis, because I so remembered him from The Feathered Serpent. So it was George Baker and Richard Willis to me, were the ones I believe, the cast.
This is actually quite
good.
Can I ask about Adric? Did you create Adric, or were you asked to, or was he given to you as a character to put into this?
He was given to me. There was a single sheet of paper that said he was like a juvenile delinquent member of a street gang, and then I fitted him into this. But all the stuff about him being an elite, the badge of mathematical excellence, the Marshreed Belt, and the Outlaws and everything else was created by me. Around this one-page thing about he's a member of a street gang.
Right.
So we finessed that. But he was, again, I've said this many times, the badge of mathematical excellence just meant in a small community he was good at sums, basically. He was never meant to be a mathematical genius, which he became on and off.
Such a small community, he was probably, like you say, just good at maths.
Yeah.
Gentlemen?
Considering you wrote his first story, how did you feel about the way he went out?
It's funny. I was at a convention a few years ago. So I said, I was asked a question on that, and did I feel hurt by it or something? And I thought, I didn't feel any possessiveness towards the character.
Right.
And I think just about like anybody else did watching that in Earthshock. I thought it was very impactful.
Yeah.
I didn't. It was odd. I was asked it. It was about 8 years ago or something at a convention. I was asked about it. And it hadn't occurred to me before that I should feel anything more than anyone else watching it should do. It was the end of the character that I'd introduced and partly created through his history and. But I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't impacted more beyond that. I just thought it was brilliantly done in Earthshock. Yeah.
What do you make of the director, Peter Grimwade? I mean, he's a very good director. His stuff is always spot on. Peter Grimwade, but I've heard some actors sort of saying he's a bit too much, but the results seem worth it.
Right, my personal experience, I got myself very lucky that Peter actually was a director on this, and in fact, a lot of things. I know it's kind of well regarded, but there's a lot of things come together. You get a great costume designer, set designer, director, and film cameraman. Again, I go back to Max Samet, but Peter Grimwade as well. I think did a great job, and I've read things as well that Peter didn't appreciate being given a script written by a teenager.
Surely it's the quality of the script that counts.
What he'd been given, but it just the end result.
Shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter who supplied the script.
No, as long as the script is up to it.
And Chris has done a lot of work and done quite a few changes in the script. But I just, I think Peter did a great job. I wasn't aware of any issues with the actors. I've heard the same stories. And to be honest, I'm in the same position as someone else. That wasn't something that I directly saw, witnessed, or whatever. And I know he did the thing of right up in people's faces and whatever. But you need to speak to actors about that.
Quite.
He did a great job. Yeah.
How long does Mistfall last?
I forget. It is specified.
4 episodes.
It comes, I seem to remember that it comes around every 40 years. And that was one of the initial ideas I had for this whole thing that stayed with it. Oh, this is so well done. This is Max Samet and Peter, and they silhouette them. They got the light behind them. They silhouetted.
I love all the weeds dripping off them.
Yeah, and I do remember when I wrote it, kind of thinking, I hope this has the same impact as the Sea Devils.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. Yeah. That is fair. You're going to have to let me know when the episode finishes, because my computer did a thing, and we're out of sync.
Well, we're on.
It's finished here.
Right, oh, yes! It's just finished! Look at that!
That's why I didn't use BritBox.
Yeah, my internet, don't know what it is about Virgin Media, but it does have a tendency to do. That first episode is a very good scene setting, quite frankly. Again, beautifully shot, beautiful location, beautiful costumes.
With a lot of location work in it. Yeah. Again, the bulk of the location work for the whole serial is in that episode. And we just come off of Meglos, which had no location filming. And actually, even Leisure Hive, the only location filming of that was right at the start with the stuff in Brighton. So, it probably, and again, at the time, it was I know that episode was very well received at the time, and I think, again, part of that thing is, the location filming, which is a bit fresh to people at the time.
I think there's more than just the location filming. By the way, guys, we haven't gone straight on to episode 2. As always, we take the break between the 2 episodes. Between episodes, should I say. So everyone can line up for the next one.
I'm lined up. I've got 22 minutes and 13 seconds.
Do you know what? So have I.
Amazing.
And stunning.
I've got 22 and 15, sir. But I think that's going to be...
That's acceptable. Within acceptable parameters.
Right. Probably 2 seconds just to get started.
Right, well, before we go on to episode 2, Andrew, have you managed to come up with an either Full Circle or Season 18 related question?
Me?
Oh,
No, you're sinister tonight.
Oh, okay.
Because you sent me a message.
I did, but most people forget me. This is the prize, boys and girls.
Come back to you in a minute, because I'm...
Season 18...
Hang on.
Season 18 Blu-ray box set. It's glorious. I only have one complaint with it, but it's a silly little picky nibble. Andrew will come up with a question. I'm hoping to get Steve Gallagher and Chris Bidmead to come in for Warriors Gate and Logopolis, respectively, and hopefully we'll get some questions off them as well. Right then, shall we go on to episode 2? This is where I first started... My audio recording starts. So, master alert. That's the first words there were. Okay, right. Everyone ready? 3,
ready.
2, 1, go.
So, what do we
think of the title sequence? Every time.
You think of it? Again, I'm not thinking. What do you think of the title sequence?
Of all the Starfield ones, this is the best.
That's fair. Yeah. I'll give you that one. And I like that the picture of Tom. I like the way the scarf merges into the effect around him. Whereas with Peter, all you've got is a face, and it just doesn't work.
When this first appeared on my screen, I was shocked. Shocked, I tell you.
Shocked.
It wasn't the Diamond logo anymore.
Yeah. Well, we've got it back. We've got it back. The Diamond
it's
logo.
Beautiful.
No, it's unworthy of the Diamond logo.
The new Doctor Who magazine looks amazing with the new logo on it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Oh, I don't have it in here, really. But
it's
amazing. Yeah.
There we go. That's my...
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Well.
It's been redone, it's been slimlined slightly, and I don't like the emphasis on the Who. Doctor should be in lighter letters as well. You know? It feels very... I don't know.
I think
it's too on the nose for me.
There's a three-dimensionality to it, and I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of forms up on the screen.
You said. Yes. It will be interesting to see what happens. I mean, I love the Diamond logo, of course I do, and I am only taking the mickey out of this, but I do that just to be contrary.
There's things coming out of the water, and they're growling.
They're growling, yes! My subtitle. By the way, it's worth watching these things. It's worth watching these things on BritBox with the subtitles on, we've discovered, because there are some amazing howlers. Oh god, Genesis of the Daleks is special. Look at that. That must...
So we've got six Marshmen. Is that the number that they had in total, do you think?
That's you always had 6.
Six, okay.
But John Nathan Turner did tell me these at the time were the most expensive monster costumes in the history of Doctor Who, because they're based on... They were built around...
it's the heads of the brains and the veins that get me.
But yeah, because they go in the water, they're based around... They are scuba suits, diving suits.
I do like the breast pockets.
Very expensive, yeah.
I do like those breast pockets. They're very useful. Slow movement is advised, Master.
Yeah. It looks like curtains for the Doctor. Oh!
Decided Draith is dead.
I love the fact that they come out of the water and they've got to kind of evolve to breathe. They just kind of acclimatise themselves. It's fantastic.
Yeah. It all slots in.
Yes.
That's everything slotting in, by the way.
It's all entirely logical within itself.
Yes. The internal logic of the story makes sense, which is blessing, quite frankly.
Yeah.
We can't stay here. Why not the TARDIS, Adric? I can hear this. I can hear it. He's doing well, is the dog. Fair dues.
He's got a bit of a web problem going on.
Yes. They do look good. Yeah, it's men in rubber suits, but it's been...
There's a lot of effort gone into dressing this, I must admit.
No.
Also, that shot with them sort of looking slightly up makes them look more, imposing.
Yeah.
Remarkable. Absolutely. So what was the thing? It was marsh fruit, which grew the spiders that...
River fruit.
Sorry, river fruit.
Yeah.
Then the spiders evolved into the marshmen? There's a missing bit there somewhere.
The DNA of the planet is all connected because it all comes from the planet, and this is all covered in the novel as well. And my Big Finish sequel, Mistfall. But basically, the DNA of the fauna of the planet is all connected.
She's got an iPad.
That's the thing. So the spiders, the spiders are not evolved in the Marsmen, but the DNA of all the fauna on the planet evolves from the stuff of the planet. That's the idea.
That makes perfect sense.
She's 100% got an iPad
with
there.
an iPad. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go.
They're time travellers. They can. The Great Book Room. Wonderful piece.
Milk crate.
Wonderful.
Milk crate on their sides.
Wonderful piece of music by Paddy. I mean, it's sonorous, it's tuneful, but it's sonorous, and it just carries the weight of the room.
And like a set with verticality in it as well. It's not just one level. There's steps and there's balconies.
Very good. Yeah.
Oh, poor Nefrid. What a weight to carry on your shoulders.
So,
I wonder who decided, no pun intended, but who decided to keep the fact that they couldn't take off from the people? Because it's always towards the embarkation. But the deciders know that they can't, well, at least the first decider knows. And so who originally made that choice, I wonder, not to tell the public?
The early deciders, and then just thinking it would just have been just too disruptive. It's about a controlling thing.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Yeah, about keeping control, keeping that knowledge away from the people.
Yeah, I know.
And how many missed falls have they gone through?
A lot.
Remember?
Well, it'll be a lot by now because it is. The thing I remember is it came around every 40 years. That's I think I've got that right.
Well, explains.
I mean, having said that, I wrote this more than 40 years ago now, and
well, you're due to write it again then.
I don't absolutely keep everything in my head about it, Because I'm not in the habit of watching it. I tend to watch it for this sort of thing. Yeah.
Oh, look at him. K9 on the mission. Oh dear. There's a prop hand behind there pushing him. Oh, the Townsend Chiang cloak. These little touches. That's Tylos. He's a bit of a git.
I tell you,
Well done, Matthew.
Yeah.
And Romana showing just how much she's learnt. Here it is. There's your knife.
There you go.
Isn't that a lovely costume she wears in this as well?
I love that costume.
She did have some nice outfits,
I would love that costume. I really would. I say costume, it wouldn't be a costume for me, I'd wear it. Oopsies! Now this is not something we've really seen in Doctor Who beforehand. Is what's at the end of the rescue when they fall. But that's roughly about it. Oh, where have you put it, you silly man? That's a good look he gives, to be fair. God, I love that costume.
Oops.
Yeah. It's the Marsh Child.
Yeah, it's a martial, and it was again with some of this. That's a character that's always in it from the start, and I think it's a character that gives a bit of heart as well. So it's not just the, just the general marshmen, the general monsters, but you've actually got a child in there, which.
In the book, he's muttering to himself, and he says, "No doorbell. Oh well, no knock. Oh, and he uses a sonic screwdriver. I do believe I hear a doorbell." Or yes, did you put that into the script and got taken out, or
the doorbell?
Yeah,
that would not have been in there. That would not have been me.
Okay, because it was in the book. It's.
Were there any bits actually in the televised version that you didn't like?
Ooh, that's a.
Well, it comes up in episode 4 when Tom puts K9's head in front of his face. But as originally done, he woofed when he did that, and I didn't like it. But happily, Peter Grimwood didn't like it either, and he stopped him. So I wasn't that chuffed with him having K9's head in front of his face. But I don't mind it now. But he put K9's head in front of his face and went woof woof woof, and yeah, and that was stopped.
Chekhov's knife.
Apart from that, yeah.
There we go. Chekhov's knife. It's been loaded.
You're right. It's not about what you want. It's a whole creative.
Oh yeah. Once you've written it, you have to step back a little, don't you? You got to step back just that little bit. It's hard to give up your baby, basically.
No, but it is about realizing you're part of it, and sometimes the story doesn't get the service it deserves. I mean, like Nightmare of Eden. I remember watching Nightmare of Eden from season 17 and think, oh God, what's happened here? But actually, it's a great story.
It is.
It's a great script.
It is.
With terrible production values.
Yes. It's got some very dark elements to it.
It's a great story. Yeah. But other aspects don't come right. And here, again, I don't know if I'd written this for the previous season, I don't think it would look like this.
No, it wouldn't. It would have had a very different look. It wouldn't have been as lush, I think.
There would have been lots more CSO.
I mean, look, there's real mood here about the way it's been filmed, the way it's been shot. Again, this is Peter, I think, because all those shots of people in the corridor, that would not have been in the script. And this is just about getting the mood and the intensity. It's beautifully done, and nothing to do with the way it's been written. It's just how Peter has decided to direct it. Great work.
Yeah, shut the doors.
Yeah, just in case something might wander in, Tom. Oh, he's got his Buccaneer boots back. He's happy. Oopsies. Explosion, apparently, according to the subtitles. Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think that's just Dick saying the TARDIS has actually
Whoever does the subtitles sometimes has a tenuous grip on reality.
Yes, that's a very good way of putting it.
Often the way, yeah.
I mean, you've heard of Neil Perryman, I'm assuming.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a subtitler for ITV and BritBox and whatever, and I've ripped it out of him a little bit. And he says, "It's not me." When Mistfall comes,
No.
I mean, you wrote the whole of that poem for the book, didn't you? The Mistfall poem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Joe Lidster did a short trips thing with Matthew, where he asked if he could reproduce that. I said, yeah, off you go, mate. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
someone's at home here. Again, the colouring in this is lovely. I can't explain why, but season 18, for some reason, the colours pop on it. It's very rich. Something about this season just came together beautifully. And I see the engine rooms.
Sorry, at the end of that corridor, that's part of the model that was in the set in the studio.
Okay.
And again, the other time you see it, you do just see the blue screen, but that was one place where you did see just a glimpse of that lovely, lovely model that was in the studio.
Right.
But I agree. I think this is a season with a particular production standard, a particular style and colour, and a palette.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I know I'm shorter than Tom Baker, but I think my season 18 scarf is a lot longer than his. I'm not really a cosplayer, but that season 18 scarf is beautiful in the winter. It's like wearing a blanket.
So, who was playing the Marsh child? Was it like
Norman
a young
Bacon.
personal?
No.
Sorry?
No. It was a guy called Norman Bacon. I remember. I mean, at this point, I think we're starting to think maybe Tom wouldn't be playing the Doctor for so long. And when I saw Norman, I thought he'd be a good Doctor. And he looks a little bit like Sylvester McCoy.
Okay.
But I did when I saw him without the head. I thought, I can see you as a Doctor, mate. Yeah.
Again, a lovely, lovely moment here. The Doctor being the Doctor. Doesn't matter which Doctor it is.
There's just some of the early stuff as well from the first drafts that very pleased with. And there's this stuff again when the Doctor's confronted by the Deciders and they are revealed in the lights. That was a very early thing as well.
I seem to remember nicking that for the opening of Staggering Stories.
Oh yeah, this was There was some stuff I did in the first draft where basically the Marshal was tortured and it did go too far. It did go too far, and I was told run it in. Yeah. I think it was hanging up and it's being tortured, and it was quite. I was quite rightly told, no, rein it in, rein. But
I know we're jumping ahead, but when they're about to operate on the child, when I was a kid and saw this, that really freaked me out.
And again, and that was that. Well, actually, I'll talk more about it when we come to it. But that was done kind of in real time within the two sets, and I was quite impressed with that.
Okay, don't knock it too hard, chaps. It's just a flimsy prop, really.
Yeah, it's not great, is it? Ba-dum.
Right, now, I hate to say this, but what's coming up is going to be distressing to lovers of tin animals.
Oh, I know.
No tin doggies were harmed during the
making of this program.
Thinking of something that was planned right from the start.
Oh, poor little doggy. And he really does it with some venom. Look!
I mean, people like K9, and I wasn't a big fan, but, again, the impact of that was fine. But that was one of my earliest decisions, writing it. I wasn't told. I know K9 was kind of written out in other stories, but that wasn't something I was told to do or asked to do. It was an early decision.
Going back to the novelisation, after watching them coming in just then, you were the first one to explain the inner and outer doors of the TARDIS by saying there's a spatio-temporal void there.
Yeah, I just...
and it explains it.
Something... Yeah, it's something I think as a viewer, when I was in my early teens, I'd kind of seen the Pertwee stories where you could see outside. And then the Tom Baker stories where you couldn't. And I just had that in my head. But you got this void between the TARDIS and outside.
Makes sense. Different dimension.
It's kind of what just me, but I don't like the fact in modern series that you can see the inside of the TARDIS.
No, I'm totally with you. I can understand why they've done it. It's an identifier.
As well.
Yeah, it's an
Cushing film as well. But and I've got used to it now. But I kind of think, you shouldn't see that from inside, because inside it should be the capsule, and outside it's the camouflage thing. That's kind of how it's what you used to thinking. Yeah.
I'm 100% with you on that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, isn't it sad? I can hear this in my head. Oh, I know this so well. That's what I suggested, season 18.
This was done at Television Centre, I assume.
I'm sorry?
This was done at Television Centre, I assume.
Yes. TC3, I think it was.
Too big for Lime Grove.
For both blocks, I think it was TC3 for both blocks.
That's when he starts to become suspicious.
Yeah.
And he wasn't climbing.
This is what I like.
Yeah.
Is you've got shots looking up, shots looking down, shots over his shoulder. It's vertical. I love vertical sets. You know.
Mm-hmm.
It does give it an extra.
Oh, you know that shot, that height on that.
Yeah, it just gives it that extra bit of verisimilitude more than anything else. So I like to use a big word at least once every recording.
So just looking at that was looking down on the Doctor and Dexter.
Yeah.
And that's how that was done, because I don't remember freestanding cameras in the studio. I remember just, again, the old BBC cameras moving around. I wonder how they did that.
Did they have a crane?
No, there wouldn't have been no, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think one of those cameras would have got up above. I don't know how they did that.
Okay, bonus points if anybody can tell me where the spider props were reused.
How is your arachnophobia doing right now?
Oh, it's all right, because these are plastic spiders.
Yeah.
The answer to the question, by the way, was Blake 7, cancer.
Of course, yes. Ooh.
I mean, it's fair dues. Do you feel it? Can you?
Yeah.
There's a thing on the original broadcast where the TARDIS disappears. In a moment, the left hand side of the screen went light, with the dark side where the TARDIS was. It went light, and it was really, really obvious on broadcast. So right now, where it disappears, hang on. Right, now that looks fine. On original broadcast, the left-hand side of the screen went light compared to the dark on the other side. And it's because there was a light behind the TARDIS. When you took the TARDIS away, it lit up the whole thing. They dealt with that. When they went on, even on DVD, they altered it. But the thing is, on the commentary, I talk about this. On the commentary on the DVD, I talk about it. And I say, oh, in a minute, this is unfortunate. And they'd actually corrected it. So when it was actually went out on DVD, no one knew what I was talking about because they couldn't see it because they corrected it.
Swines.
But,
I'm sorry, but
that cliffhanger is one that a number of people said to me, you know, it gave them nightmares. And I just thought, well, job done.
Yes, quite.
Yeah, that's what you do. Yeah.
Good Lord, do you know we're on to episode 3 already? So I need to turn to Dr. Sinister and say, how are we doing, mate? Enjoying?
Yeah, very much so.
Any points you wish to make?
Any points I wish to make?
Yes.
No, I think I've made them all throughout the whole thing. It's
And do you want to know what? We haven't gone off on a tangent yet.
We haven't gone off on a tangent. No. We've been remarkably focused for 2 fan dinosaurs.
Yes.
We should pat ourselves on the back.
No, I think we should get ourselves a guest every time.
Yeah.
Right, let's go on to. Sorry.
I have spotted a trend, however.
Ooh.
The next episode is 21 minutes 57 seconds. They're getting shorter.
But that's season 18 for you, to be fair.
Yes.
I still think, is it Mind Dropper episode 1 is the shortest episode, but season 18...
Night Lost 4, I remember, was very short.
Yeah, a massive recap on that one.
Yeah. That was the thing, I think Leisure Hive as well had some really long recaps. Yeah.
Yep, very much so. That's, anyway, what did you say you had up on episode 3, Andrew? Sorry, Sinister?
21 minutes 57 seconds.
That's what I've got. This is excellent news.
I'm going to predict that Mr. Smith has got 21:59.
He's the writer. It's royalties. Time royalties.
22 minutes exactly, it says. I think this is black. This is where it's the appears of blackness. I think either side of the recording. Yeah.
So I'll say 3, 2, 1, go. You and me, Sin.
Can I do the 3, 2, 1, go for a change?
Yes, I always say, look, do you want to... Every week I say, look, do you want to open the show? And he goes, no, you do it.
I just occasionally want to do the 3, 2, 1 bit.
You just love countdowns, admit it.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Smith, are you ready?
I am ready. I've just poured another glass of wine.
Mr. Smith, we need you.
If everyone is ready to go, then I will...
I really need to apologise for this sore throat.
You don't. You're coming across...
It's fine.
You're coming across fine, Andrew. I'm just a little worried it's hurting you, that's all.
Yeah,
no,
I'm
fine.
Listen.
Don't go cursing us after it's finished because you can't talk anymore.
Can I just... Well, he won't be able to curse us after he's finished, so he can't talk anymore. Could I suggest my favourite word to you?
Whoa. Okay, I'm bracing myself. Go on.
Lozenge.
What?
Lozenge. Lozenge.
You have already said tonight my favourite word. Verisimilitude.
Oh.
Hey, I'm 2 for 2.
Yeah.
I'm doing well here.
I just love the fact that we were adding elements of stories to make it sound more
Siobhan,
plausible.
you get a star of excellence for saying that word.
Yeah, yes, you do. Have one of those.
Yeah, it's all very well, but the Cybermen aren't susceptible to gold anymore.
No, it's fine because it's a word-related one. Number
Yes.
1, it's green. And number 2, it's silver, not gold.
Looks very Christmassy, I'm going to be honest, and I am expecting it for Christmas. You've just... Alright then, let's get on to episode 3. These go so quickly when we're doing this. They really do.
If everyone is ready,
Yep.
I will commencify.
Ooh.
3, 2, 1, go.
Pizzazz! So,
What did you think of the theme tune, Mr. Smith?
Oh, he went there.
I love it.
Yes.
It's easily the second best tune.
I think
to be
so,
fair.
yeah.
I love what Murray Gold did with it. I must admit.
Up to a point.
One.
Yeah, up to a point.
You do different things with it, and I just think it is the best. It is the best theme tune. So there are others. I think the Avengers. The Avengers is
Yeah.
right up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the Samora people.
Oh yes.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Blake Seven,
Yeah,
of course.
Yes. Yeah.
Now we've diversified.
Hi, Chef Ram.
Tangent time.
There we go.
Now, are those eyes, I wonder? That's what the visual effects department thought. Let's make them eyes, those big blobs on its back.
Well, I mean, John Brace did this stuff. He did a great job.
Yes.
Spiders have 8 eyes in real life. So they could well be eyes.
Just for looking up at the ceiling.
Can I just point out, gentlemen, we are in another planet, in another universe.
Yeah.
Can I just point out...
That might make a little bit of difference.
Can I just point out, it's ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. You, sir, owe me a cup of coffee.
I apologise profusely.
It's alright, I'm cool on that sort of thing.
Yeah, sorry.
No. I'm cool on all that. Like I say, you buy me a cup of coffee and we're quits.
Yeah. I have a coffee waiting.
I have so many cups of coffee owed to me by people.
I tell you what worries me, right, is if that's the size of the spiders, how big are the flies?
Well,
you make a fair point.
As we've seen.
Nice to see the central column working properly. A couple of stories later, it's dead.
Well, it properly didn't earlier on. Initially, we had a guy underneath actually working it up and down. And there's a little wooden. It's wooden as well. I remember walking on set and seeing it. The TARDIS got a concept, and I said, and it was wooden. I think if you look on the Blu-ray, it's quite obvious.
You can see the grain,
wood.
yeah?
It's not metal, it's wood. Yeah.
Dexter, you've been taking... Skipping...
You know, the passage in time gives you a little bit of objectivity to this. And I do like the tone. It's kind of dark.
Yes. It's very serious, but it's not po-faced, which is an excellent combination for Doctor Who, if I'm honest with you. Serious, but not po-faced.
That's what I like. When I first came down, I had this initial script conference with Chris and John. Just hearing, John Ticknow's producer and his ideas, and wanting to make it more serious and rein Tom in a bit from his excesses of season 17. As much as there were some real highlights in that season, I really liked what I heard from John and from Chris. But again, they just wanted to make it more of what it had been before, as I knew as a kid growing up and as a teenager.
Tom's performance,
as a younger teenager. Yeah.
Tom's performance in this is more reminiscent of the Hinchcliffe era. To be fair. He's more serious. He's still got the smile and everything, but it is.
I don't know if I've thought this before, but I think being around people like George Baker and James Bree and Alan Rowe has maybe affected him as well. But
good actors.
Maybe not. But again, some people have really motivated him.
He did like to bounce off a sparring partner.
Yes, you needed someone who could stand up to him, but not just stand up. You stand up to him acting wise,
Yeah.
Come on, boys.
Did you know this was Tom's last season when you wrote this, or when you were watching it being recorded?
No.
Okay.
I had to think about that for a minute. No, I didn't. But I did kind of feel, he's probably coming up to the end of his time. Like I said, when I saw it Norman Bacon earlier, and I thought, you'd be a good Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, they announced that Tom was leaving just before episode 1 was broadcast. So the first episode of this was the first episode people had watched, knowing that this was his last season. Did they announce pizza? Did they announce pizza just before episode 1, or was that later?
That must have been later, I would have thought.
I think it must have been. Yeah.
Also, I like a nice set with ceilings.
Yes, you say this every time. Yes.
Yeah, I mean this was in a corner of the studio, and it was redressed, and it serviced so many different corridors, and it was a fairly short sequence of sets, the actual corridors, but they made very good use of it.
There's a nice little bit about to come up with the TARDIS landing and Tom's reaction. Whoa! Nicely done. Very nicely done.
Yeah.
And doesn't she look battered? Bless her.
A little bit of clowning around here, which is not very naturalistic at all, but and he holds the door open, which is more kind of dealing with the set than anything else. I met Jim Page for the first time just about 4 years ago.
Wow.
And Bernard, Richard is living in Canada and Toronto, well, just outside Toronto, north of Toronto now. But I met him there. I went over on holiday with my wife and met up with Richard and had a coffee with him.
Cool.
Lovely. Have you ever been to Hooverville in Derby, the convention?
This year, yes. In fact, Siobhan, this is where we set this up.
You'll get used to this. Don't worry. My memory nowadays is just atrocious. It really is. I can't believe I said that.
It's part of the episode, mate. You can't edit that.
No, there's no editing involved. Trust me. It's verite.
Sorry, Mr. Smith. I was guiding you from the masses.
So I've got some cramp in my leg. Sorry, but
large crab spider hasn't been anywhere near you, has it?
I've done things like that. Absolutely. I had had an actor talking about is it a big finish party, and he's talking about when he did Survivors, and I went, oh, you're in Survivors? What episode was that? And he said, yours. was present at the studio.
Oh, very dear.
I think he was really good as well.
Yes, Dexter, your experiments will be in secret. I mean, fair dues. Dexter, he's trying to work to the common good, but his methods are a little bit suspect.
Yeah, again, I haven't seen this for a little while. What is it? I like it. I like the tone. And again, it's dark. Look at the shade.
I really need to bat Noonan over the head a little bit, because I'm sure he's wrong about certain things. Oh, it's a conference.
There's a thing with the design as well. It's in the background. There's the thing of these shapes and lines that go back. This is a whole full circle thing.
Yeah.
All these shapes, they go round on each other and they meet each other. And it's again a subliminal full circle thing. It's just lines meeting and they twist around and come back.
I was literally just thinking that. That's kind of weird. I was thinking that shape goes back on itself. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all deliberate.
Yep, that set's not going to last long. Just saying. Now, does he love her at the moment? That's the question.
Who, the Doctor or Tom?
Oh.
Either! I'm sorry, this is my favourite Doctor companion setup, these two. Though I am very fond of Sylvester and Ace.
I'd say...
And Jamie and Zoe.
I enjoy them, they're a good team, but I honestly I think I've said this before, and I can't remember if it was Gary Gillett or Gillett or Clay Hickman in an editorial in DWM saying that season 18 we were just the right age for this to happen. We'd just turned teenagers and we were serious about everything, and this suddenly everything just works with this. It calls to me, quite frankly.
There are things I think about being at a certain age when you see certain changes.
Yeah.
A lot of it's like Nick Briggs and David Richardson and myself and Jason and I'm getting to that age where we were like around 12, 13, 14 when Tom started, and that really was a sweet spot, I think, for Doctor Who. Being at that age at that time, it really impacted.
Do you know, it's just funny, like I said, I mean, I've been talking to Noonan about this, and the Hinchcliffe era, whilst I appreciate the good stuff in it, it's not one of my favourites.
No? Oh, it's...
And I would love to join the crowd, but it's just how it is, I'm afraid. It could just be familiarity.
I'm watching it going out every week, and I absolutely loved it. And and I looked at for the first time in a long time the other day. I looked at the first episode of The Mask of Mandragora, and it had so many nostalgic associations for me.
Yeah.
And there's that thing as well of like the first episode of a new season has got a particular thing that I think we miss now. But that context is very important. Oh my God, this is right. There's a line here I did not. There we go. Now my father's at the side where I'm an orphan too. I did not write that, and I tried, and I came in and couldn't find out where that come from. Now this was the second studio block.
Mm-hmm.
That line came in, and I couldn't find out who'd added it. It wasn't in the script. It didn't come from June. She was saying, "Did you add that?" I know it just got added. Now my father's the decider. I'm an orphan too. Because hate's a strong word, so I just say I don't like it. Like we couldn't find out where it come from.
I love the fact
on the set, but it was a good idea at the time.
Well, I could, I know it. I mean, there are likely places I think it might have come from, but I don't know. But June didn't like it. I didn't like it. June thought it come from me, but it hadn't come from me. I don't know where it came from.
I find that trial scene very interesting. They don't get to talk. It's all about them. But they're just there. It's rather patronising, actually, I think. And that's not a criticism of the script. It works well with the deciders. That's how they do it. Now, no, Dexter. No, last real...
Like, this was done. I thought this wasn't filmed separately and whatever. This was all done on 2 separate sets.
Wow.
This is...
But there is something, I think, logically about this that doesn't quite work. And it something that only came to me just relatively few years ago, but I'll deal with it when it happens.
Okay. What was I going to say? It's the last blast of Tom's temper in the actual show.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That bit always freaked me out as a kid when he's just about to cut into the head.
Yeah. And he's. I've been to post-mortems now. I've actually seen that done. Oh. And he's doing well to stop it.
Yeah. Marshman building up strength. All part of the evolution thing. Survival. You ran into his hands there, Dexter. I hate to say it. I say, look, there's some oxygen cylinders.
Yeah. The continuity person would have gone mentally. Just saying, we're getting this now. We're going to have to put it back. But this is, again, just with the distance of time, this is, it's crimes. Right. So here we go. So.
Okay.
Right. So they've lost the picture.
Yeah.
And then there's a line saying somebody got rid of the body. They don't know what's happened to the Mars child, do they?
Yeah. True.
I suppose they're just guessing.
Who wrote this riddle?
Maybe they had a second camera from another vantage point.
But here's the thing. So it's the thing you have to assume, right? They know he's put the hand into the electrics and therefore he's electrocuted. But yeah. But after that, it works.
Oh, he's off. There he is.
This is perfect song. It's great song.
Like I say, it's his last real blast of anger.
Yeah. I know Rob Shearman loves this bit, and
quite right.
Yeah, and again, you're right, but again, I find this a big finish all the time. You know, you write stuff and it's okay, and then the actors do it, and they just totally flatter it.
It's part of the job, isn't it? It's what we do.
And they do things with it you don't expect them to do. You know, you got great actors, which we get all the time. It's fab what they do.
Yes. I've got to admit, their control interface is very small.
There's a very good chance Pterodon's not there anymore.
Depending how long they've been there for. I wonder if they ever made it to Pterodon.
Well,
because there's not many planets in space to colonize.
It's not so much Pterodon or as Pterodont.
No, they don't make it back there. When they leave, they decide they can't go back there because they're not actually from there. So they're going off somewhere else. Yeah.
Because they're not the original descendants anymore.
No. They're a bunch of murderers is what they are. Because they murdered the first folks that come out of the Starlighter.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So the thing is, though, are they the descendants of the first murdered? How many times have they been replaced? Do you know what I mean?
The Marshmen have evolved into them.
Yes, but how many times do you think that might have happened?
Mainly just out the outside.
Mind you saying that.
Environment of the Starliner, they've evolved. That's the idea.
So how do they know?
The environment.
They must have just yes they read the files in the book room.
They've adapted to the Starliner,
and they've adapted to the environment and the knowledge that they got from the documents in there,
which they accept therefore as their own history. Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
But I always wondered whether they'd been replaced many times over. You know.
No, not by subsequent Marshmen, because that's the whole idea of the Marshmen resenting them. That's why the Marshmen attack, because I didn't want them to just they attack because they attack. It's they attack because of that resent. There's that line. They seem to. There's a line in episode 4, I think it is.
Yes.
They seem to resent your presence as much. That's extrapolated in the novelization. But that's the idea. That's the idea.
Okay. It's been a long, long time since I read the novel, I'm afraid.
Unworthy of the diamond logo, Sinister.
I said it earlier that I don't keep this stuff in my head. I wrote this 42 years ago, 43 years ago, and you ask me questions about the things I'm thinking. Well, hang on, I've got to that for a minute.
Oh, hello! It's Chris Bidmead Science. That's come in. We're learning stuff.
This is the thing, isn't it? About 40 years and things.
George Baker is very tall.
That was the original concept. The original concept is the planet, it's about the
Planet that slept.
The original concept. Yeah. So I'm just sort of where my voice is sounding kind of.
Dude, you're coming over fine. As long as you're not hurting yourself doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Like I say, George Baker, tall or on a box, we're not sure. Is Tom kneeling down?
I think he was quite tall, George.
Yeah, I don't think he was a short guy.
What?
What?
Not just Tennant, then. Oh, nose!
Just a few years ago, I looked at the camera script, the actual script for the studio, and there was a thing. There's a specification in the script about a break to basically trash this set ahead of the filming. Yeah.
Oh no, the Brighton Beach hat.
Yeah.
You see these little touches that started to.
No, that wasn't Brighton Beach. That was.
Was that the schoolgirl hat?
It was a Paris hat, wasn't
it? Yeah. Was it? What was she wearing in Brighton Beach then? Maybe I'm being stupid.
She had a hat on her back, didn't she?
Did she? Yeah, yes. She had the sailor outfit on, didn't she?
Yeah.
And it was hanging down the back. Yeah. We're a bunch of nerds. So, a bunch of nerds.
Squirrels.
Yeah.
Oh, that didn't work. Sorry, I'm just Googling up something. Give me images.
You know what?
You're right. You are spot on. It's from the Leisure Hive. It's the Leisure Hive. Oh, hang on. No, I was right. Sorry.
Okay. There you go. Right.
I'm so sorry.
Where's the case to be used in ships to cheap planet for? I remember being on set, and I'd written that in the script about that sign there. We stood on the set and reading that on the wall. I remember that. That felt like quite something.
Something you had written was on the TV.
To be fair,
something I'd written in the script was actually on the wall on the set when I stood there and looked at it. Yeah.
That
was quite good.
That's actually a rather good episode 3. To be fair, definitely a good episode 3.
Yeah.
Right, I have 24 minutes 16 for episode 4.
That's uncanny.
No, surely not. Not again.
Yes, but don't call me Shirley.
All right, Andrew. Would you like to count us into the last episode?
I would like nothing better, my dearie-o.
You need to get out more. Right, episode 4, folks. Here we go.
Oh, wait, whoa.
Oh, I don't know. It's just, amateurs.
You can't get the staff.
No.
Right.
No. One day I might consider.
Oh, you got 24 minutes and 20 seconds. Right. Okay, brace yourselves.
We're going in.
Right. 3, 2, 1, play.
Yay!
Oh no, you got it wrong. It's 3, 2, 1, go! Oh no, we're gonna have to start again.
Blimey.
You see, look at the scarf. The way the scarf comes up, it just looks like his scarf, and it's like I say with Peter, it was just a cutout of his head. It just didn't work for me. The neon logo. The planet that slept.
Yes. A far better title. I did not like Full Circle as a title.
It was a bit cryptic, wasn't it? Mind you, that's...
When it was left, I thought, yeah, much preferred that as a title.
I like her green boots. Green is not normally a colour I go for footwear, but that works. Oh, other half of my waistcoat.
I hope you got this just getting it.
So, for each minute of script, how many pages does that equate to, roughly?
About one page, roughly, I think.
Okay.
Probably, no, well, maybe not quite. I mean, it does depend, but...
Yeah.
Roughly, as I recall.
Okay.
Grunting. There's grunting.
There is grunting.
Hmm.
They don't look happy.
That's because they can't move their mouths. I'm reminded of the Silurians, actually, a little bit. It's the full body outfit.
Kindred. I remember the script direction here. Kindred. They hold hands within their kindred. They're connected.
Yeah.
But plugging the sequel to this, Big Finish again. That expanded on that.
What is it called, please? What is your Big Finish one called?
Mistfall.
Mistfall. There you go, boys and girls. Big Finish site, bigfinish.com.
Bernard Cadden reckons that he got a script that was called Mistfall, a draft of this that was called Mistfall. I said, no, it's never called that, unless it was sneaked past me. But no.
Which Doctor is in your Big Finish script?
Peter Davison.
Okay.
Oh, Peter Davidson.
Yeah, and.
Oh dear, this isn't going to go wrong, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, Vash, we hardly knew thee.
Do you find it different writing for each Doctor, or do you just write for the Doctor?
No, it is. I tell you what, this is something I'd change my opinion about. Absolutely. The writing for each Doctor is different. It is very different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Poor Vash.
And it's something I love. I love writing for Colin, the Sixth Doctor. I absolutely love writing for that Doctor.
A circle around the thesaurus.
But Tom as well. I've done quite a few more for Tom now. And
okay.
And I think I say, my first thing I did for Tom. I was driving down to the studio down in Kent, and I wasn't really looking forward to it because this had been, he'd been a little difficult on this.
Yeah.
And in fact, and I walked in, he was sat in the, in the green room at the recording studio and at Big Finish, and I said, hello, I'm Andrew. I said, you won't remember this, but I wrote one of your TV serials back in the day in 1980. And he went, oh, wow, it's terribly difficult back then. I said, yeah, you were.
I'm so sorry, it was Tylos, it wasn't Vash. I'm sorry, it was Tylos who died, not Vash. I do apologise, I was a bit early on that one. Spoilers.
Well, Tylos dies now, but yeah. But yeah, Tom was great, and Tom is great in the studio, and he's so engaged, and he knows the scripts, and he knows the stories, and he's very complimentary, and he's really actually been one of my best experiences at Big Finish is getting that thing with Tom of having a very, very happy experience.
I believe you call that closure.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't terrible on this, but he's quite distant and difficult and moody, and yeah. I don't think he had obviously relationship issues at the time, which he was completely unaware of, whatever, but yeah.
Everybody seems to know about it nowadays.
Bernard, I remember we're in the in the BBC canteen.
That's my dog.
And he said he wished he had a scene with Tom. And I said, do you do have a scene with Tom? He said, yeah, but I'm dead. He said, I do remember that. He said, I'd like to have had lines. Oh, I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Doors unlocked, just saying.
There we go. This was
woof, woof, woof.
Initially,
Woof.
when it was rehearsed, he was going woof, 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 woof. And I remember sat in the control gallery behind it, and I thought, oh, for God's sake. And even at 18, I was like, oh, for God's sake. And Peter felt the same. And Peter went down on the floor and said, cut it out. You know, no woof noises.
Put the crisp back in. Behind you. Oops. Oh, nice double take there.
I like the rippling effect on the veins on it.
Right. She had blue paint in her face, and then there was a coloured wheel in the corner of the studio that was turned, and they matched that in, which was great. I mean, obviously, other times you see it, she just got the blue lines, but that again, that's a level of detail and effort that I thought was really, really good.
Yeah.
May one just point out that the circuitry from the Starliner uncannily seems to work with the TARDIS.
Isn't that weird?
Mind you, same coordinates, just negative.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the Time Lords procrastinate.
Let's not pull on that particular thread.
It works! If you really think too hard about it and need to lie down.
Mm.
Oh, they've shut the doors now. Or have they?
Yeah.
You see? Please note, she's not made of wood.
I seem to remember there was a thing with a door at the time. And it was open sometimes and shut other times, but...
Oh, it's an ongoing problem with Doctor Who. It always... You sort of sit there and go, shut the door!
Yeah.
And here we go.
It is the thing at Big Finish as a script editor. And again, I give notes on this about specify the effect they close the door.
This is a wonderful moment, and like I say, in the book, you just expand on it slightly. They haven't got the faintest idea what they're doing, and Logan's realising it.
Yeah.
They've procrastinated so long, they just cannot make a decision, ironically.
It's the only thing they're good at is procrastinating.
Yeah. Look at him. It's just, I can't believe it, you know?
Just get these actors, and they are just so good at what they do, you know.
Oh, there's Adric's schoolroom art on the wall. Though they rarely speak, are the possessors of intellect. So basically, whatever we do is going to be undone, so why do it?
So the interesting thing is, right, look, at the end the ship takes off, in theory, because they are descended from Marshmen, any planet they arrive on, they could have adapted to it.
Yeah. Well, they can't. They are super adaptive. That's why, again, like Adric has got this. Well, they're super adaptive to a degree because Adric has got this thing where his knee's injured.
Yes,
cut,
and it heals really quickly.
They're maybe not quite as super adaptive as that if they go somewhere else. Having adapted into this life form, having got used to it, and having been in that form for so long, so they're just left with residual effects of that, which is that if they get cut,
and of course
that will heal quickly, you know.
And they would be separated from the planet, so maybe, like you say, the effects would dissipate slightly. Yeah.
I don't think it's about the planet. I think it's just being used to that being in that form for so long.
Okay.
There's a chap there, and he did number 73 or something. I'm trying to think what his name is. I can't say it. He went on to do something. I was going to try and say his name, but he went on to do a kids show in the morning. He was so good on this. He played an outlaw. He played one of the citizens. And I remember being on location and just this guy's really good, just doing background responses. I just thought it's really, really good. And then I think he did with Sandy Tosway. They did was it number 73 or something?
I wouldn't know. So that was ITV.
But he, and I was so pleased to see him doing something else because I just thought he was really, really good.
And here we go.
Right, I think we're coming at the bit where Matthew walks around a camera in full view.
Oh, righty-ho. Point this one out for me at some stage.
Do you know about that?
No.
Well,
or if I do, I've forgotten.
Once you know about it, you'll never know.
It's going to be like that bit in Revenge of the Jedi, isn't it? Sorry, Return of the Jedi, not Revenge.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Nefrid. He's got a boo-boo.
It's a great set. It's not an obvious set. It's a really, really good design.
It looks solid.
Solid line.
The whole
Yeah.
thing just holds together so well.
It's got depth to it. I mean, I was so lucky with everyone involved in this.
Ah. Clicking tongue. Reduced rectangle of stained chromosomes.
Aren't we all?
Or not.
Here we go. Right. Okay.
Yes, put something on wheels in front of the door.
Again, it's dark and all, but the lighting is brilliant.
Well, considering how much difficulty in the 80s directors had with the lighting department,
Yeah, but
I point to Warriors of the Deep. Oh, dear. Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
How do you know you're hoping here, Nefred, aren't you?
You can all bugger off now.
Right.
Oh, and a wonderful... This is brilliant, this little bit. We cannot return to Pterodon.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah, system files.
A little bit of mystery.
Trying to imagine what Gareth would be like as first decider.
With the passage of time, I do like, the unraveling of the layers.
Yeah.
The mystery.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it's not as if it's sudden blah 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 blah. It flows naturally and within the story.
That's lovely. Look at that screen. That's lovely.
Like I said, I'm still trying to wonder just how good Gareth will be as first decider. I suspect Logan's going to be the power behind the throne.
Nah, Gareth is not of the same
Caliber.
standard as. Here we go. Right, watch.
What are we looking for?
So Matthew, watch. There's a camera going to come in from the right-hand side of the frame there. So Matthew walks round. It almost bumps in. The camera's moving in to get a shot of the. So watch behind Tom.
Ah, I see the camera. I saw the camera.
Tom is right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. You've ruined it for me now.
That shot where Matthew snatches the thing, but it just got in between the actors, and yeah.
You have ruined this now for me, Smith. I'm just not happy.
Well, yeah. But there you go. It's not often you get an actual whole bloody camera in the shot.
No, to be fair, Margaret Hayhoe, yes, but not.
And you've got one of the actors looking at it saying, "What the hell are you doing there?"
It's quite obvious what's going on. The Starliner crew are clearly making a documentary of what's happening.
So they can learn
Yes.
for future generations.
It's one of their cameras.
This was an early thing, and I do this at Big Finish as well. I don't like people. I don't really like something you can't avoid. I don't like people having weapons, having guns. And things. So I like them to use other things, and the oxygen canisters.
Yeah.
A deliberate thing. There are no guns. There are no guns on the Starlight.
I like that.
It's better if they could use the environment around them to solve problems.
Yeah. It's much
Quite. I mean, everyone.
The Big Finish, even Star Cops went to Mars, and the Star Cops had the guns taken off, and it's a thing of just get rid of guns.
But apart from the fact that the guns are the easy solution, it shows the characters using their intelligence to work out a different way.
Exactly. You have to improvise. Some stories you've got that, and you have to have it. But it's much better again if you just have them just use other items there to overcome things. If you've got guns, it's just too easy.
No, totally agree.
40 generations, there you go.
Yes, however, I think that...
No, it's probably a bit more than that. It should be a bit more than that, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, he's saying words I don't understand now, but fair enough. Was this your science, or did Chris add all that?
Oh, there's quite a bit of Chris in this one.
I'm not criticising, by the way. It does add a certain
No.
something to it. I'd say verisimilitude again, but we've been there. Oh, what a lovely shot!
Yeah, it's
all
great.
better.
Yeah.
Alas, poor Tylos. I never knew him.
How do you come up with good names for sci-fi characters?
Oh, good point. Very good point.
Right, so mixture. It's only just knocking things around. Sometimes it's I look at for character names generally I tend to look at IMDb. I'll pick a film and I'll go through it and then I'll play around with names. But even sci-fi names, you can do that as well.
Okay.
And it's a bit of a bane. Coming up with planet names is another thing.
Yeah. I bet.
So I've always been amazed at how writers can write. It's one thing to write one thing. They say everybody's got a book in them. I haven't because I'm not a writer. But to constantly come out, it's a remarkable talent, a remarkable gift.
4,000 generations now.
I seem to remember somebody at a DWM letters page saying it possibly that was incorrect. Don't ask me, I have no idea. And now the spider?
It's all the same.
What?
Yes.
Oh my god.
The doctor said not to
Richard
overuse
is
it.
so good with this. He gets a proper clasp on the head here, Richard, as well in a minute.
Oh.
He's so good. He is so good.
TARDIS doors open again. I'm just saying. We like spotting these things.
One of the things in the spec for Adric was his brother died.
Oh, he does as well.
Now Richard there, he took a proper clout to the head.
Oh goodness, yes.
Yeah.
He really did.
That pain is genuine.
He's a pro. He just carried on, but he did. He got a proper clout to the head.
I hope an entry was made in the accident book.
Oh, we didn't have that then.
No.
Now, hang on a second. This is this strange, tiny second long scene of them doing the oxygen, and it's just one little set that could just be my memory. Because sometimes childhood memories of watching something supplant. No, there we go. It's a small little thing. They supplant what you've actually seen. You still remember how you saw it as a childhood. What on earth is that noise? Kill them.
No, let them bugger off.
They can go out scavenging in the wastelands.
Some of them survive out there.
That's horrible.
Your views are not important.
Sorry, we've got a bit of a thing about Genesis of the Daleks.
In the novelisation where they return to the marsh, they talk about...
Yes.
Yeah, there's a thing about they cannot, the shame they cannot connect with the people that used to be them.
The knocking sound is my computer. I did wonder. Look at her, she's very much her own Romana now, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
I'd have loved to have seen another series with these two. In a similar vein to season 18.
Then it wouldn't be as special.
I think I would have loved to see another series with Chris as script editor. I must admit, I really would have loved to have seen that and what he would have done.
Well, season 19 wasn't too bad. Would it have 3 script editors? Something like that.
I dealt with Anthony Root and then Eric. No, 2 was it? I don't think Chris edited it. Obviously, more Castroval, which was meant to be.
The guys from Meglos. You are going to be useless as it is first decider. Now you've actually got proper decisions to make and people's lives are in danger. You've fallen apart.
Get rid of him quick. The other guy's who you want.
You're a weak character. I'm sorry.
Okay, we are coming up with something. I didn't like. It was the thing about taking off. This, it's right. There you go. Take off. Boom, 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 boom. It's about like saying to somebody, here's how you drive a car. That's the clutch. That's the accelerator. There's the brake. Off you go.
But if it's advanced enough civilizations, all of this will be wired into macros or whatever, and you just have to touch a couple of buttons, and it does it all for you automatically. And the more advanced a civilization, I suspect, the easier it is to actually fly something. That's a nice shot. I love the way they walk away.
Nice depth. Nice depth.
Oh God, here we go.
Procrastination.
Yeah.
Let's have a think about it for a while.
But you will admit, it does require some thought.
No, not really. No.
I decided not to.
But this forget now, but this would have been quite different. You simply think, okay, this story hasn't just ended, it's we look at something else from it.
Green space.
Yes.
A cushion someone for.
I love that waistcoat. Love that shirt, actually. But it could do with baggier sleeves. Yep. Green. The colour for E-Space is green. Oh, come on. You wanted to explore the universe? Well, you got another one now.
I'm sure the subtitles just spelt the word appointment wrong.
Look at that. It's. I'd love to see the model of the proper model of the Starliner ship. Apparently on the Viewmaster, it looked, the 3D thing, it looked really good.
Like I said, in '83, I was there when it got auctioned off.
It's just such an unusual design, and it's beautiful as a result.
Crystalline, very crystalline.
Yes.
Paddy Kingsland doing a quick crescendo.
Well, there we go.
Wow.
Now, if they'd have any sense that they shot straight into the scanner screen, and the titles would have been tinted green. Just a thought.
As if they were watching the titles on the viewer.
Oh, that's been done before, by accident. Pertwee's era, I think.
Can I say congratulations?
Yes, very, very, very much so, Andrew. It's a beautiful story, and like I say, the novelisation is superb.
Yeah,
and it all ties together so well.
I mean, Chris did a lot of work. I mean, Chris again did quite a few changes, especially this to episode 4. Yeah, quite pleased. And I looked out absolutely with the people who are working on it.
Do you still smile when you think I wrote for Doctor Who?
The fact is, you have your name on the screen as the author of a Doctor Who story. The writer.
Did you ever stop smiling whenever you thought of it?
Well, it was. I mean, I want to be a writer. That's my thing. Not just write for Doctor Who, but
fair enough.
To do that, I did think. I do remember at a particular moment I was working on it. I was stood in the bathroom at a girls' free station in Glasgow, and just had a moment when I was 17, just thinking, God, 2 or 3 years ago, watching John Pertwee on a Saturday night with the family, would I think I'd ever be here and I'm actually writing for it? No. Not 2 or 3 years ago. It'd been several years before, but watching John Pertwee. But yeah, it was incredible. And but the thing is, because I was trying to get the writing every year, so I chipped away year after year, and Doctor Who stayed there. So I got there with it eventually. Which is weird, because when I wrote when I was 17, but I had been chipping away year after year after year for about 4 years. And fortunately, the guys over there was sort of thinking, well, Andrew's someone who is worth kind of looking at,
Yeah. I mean, didn't you send stuff in and didn't... Oh, am I thinking of Eric Pringle? And Robert Holmes sent stuff back.
Robert Holmes, my first thing I sent him was a script that I sent to Robert Holmes around the time that Wang Chiang was going out. And I got... we got some very positive remarks on that. And then Anthony Reid, I sent him a full script as well. And that came back, some lovely penciled notes on it. And lots of encouragement. And it's mainly storylines after that. Anthony Reid and Douglas Adams invited me down to the studio when they were recording Creature from the Pit and spoke to me. And then the storyline for Full Circle I'd actually sent to Douglas, and he handed it over to Chris, and it went from there. Yeah.
I think that's lovely.
It's been a few years. It took a few years, but
the thing is, it's a wonderful thing because youngsters well, all right, like we've said, it doesn't work like that nowadays. But it did mean that youngsters got given a thing of, you can do this. It is possible.
Well, I think, and I say it to my kids now, don't just wait for things to come to you. I think there's an element of just I see, and it's just make things happen. If you want something to happen, make it happen, and go for it. And,
what's the worst that can happen?
I've never been a confident person. I've never actually got a lot of belief in myself, and I still don't. But it's just something I wanted to do. I think
that's something a lot of us have. And I quite like that because it means you're not one of these over the top, full of it people.
You have humility.
Yeah.
No, but I think what I mean, and I've thought this, and I really am not. And I think the one thing when I'm working on something, I tend to work and rework it and try and make it as good as I can because I don't fully believe in it, but and then it gets to the point I really like what I've got because I've worked it and reshaped it and whatever and put a lot of work into it. If I just thought, well, everything I write is great, I would just write and just leave it, do first draft and send it off and forget. But I don't. I think this needs more work. But I tend to overthink things and take longer to do it. I think maybe should, but I still.
But that's experience. That's experience doing it.
Well, it is, but it's kind of I can do better. You're always kind of reworking it, and sometimes it doesn't always meet that. But,
have you learnt when to walk away? Because when I do stuff, it's a case of at one point you have to stop and walk away from it because it's diminishing returns, and it's It's got to be a point where you say enough.
The one rule I stick with is good enough is never good enough. And if you think that'll do, as soon as you think that'll do, no, don't send that in. Work on it a bit more and work on it. And
Andrew,
think,
sinister.
Don't ever think that'll do. No, if I catch myself thinking that'll do, no, that will not do. Work on it more.
Sinister. I think we're doing the flashing blade wrong.
Yeah, ours is always not quite good enough.
No. No. Our standards are subterranean, and we still can't reach them.
No.
Well, the whole point of it was just four friends, sitting down, ostensibly reviewing things, but it's a chance for us to hang out and talk and laugh. That's that's how things should be, quite frankly. Laid back. Andrew, thank you so much for doing this. I'm so grateful. I know we had a bit of trouble sorting the date out, but you stuck with it, and thank you so much.
No, it's been lovely. It's been lovely.
And you are always...
I had some new things to say about Full Circle, because I've said a lot over the years. I hope it's been okay, and I hope people watching or listening have enjoyed it.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, thank you.
And it's lovely to do it. And Siobhan, you and I have known each other for quite a while.
Yes, we have.
And, yeah. And it's been great to do this. Yeah.
We've got to sit down for a nice cup of coffee at some stage.
Yes, we must do.
At Hooverville. All right, we've got a quick wrap up then. We've thanked Andrew. Sinister's up there. I'm not going to thank him. And just to let you know, as usual, once we've done finished one Doctor Who story, we take a week's break as a palate cleanser. So in 2 weeks' time, we will be back and we'll be looking at State of Decay. First 2 episodes. All right. So thank you once again. Thank you, Andrew, and we're going to say goodbye. Say goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.